Hey everyone, welcome to Money, Sex, and God. We are here with our first guest, Emily Orum, who is an absolute rock star, heart ninja, pioneer, connecting the world with love and all the pleasure. I'm so grateful to have you on. Thank you. And this is the first time we're meeting, which is so cool.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful just to see your presence online and just to kind of move and feel your energy and just allow myself to feel a yes when you invited me on and just say, follow that current.
So good. Thank you so much for being here. Because I haven't met you and because I just want to connect with you, can we start by just looking at each other for a little while?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
Oh yeah, over to like Gilroy area. Yeah. And that is always active. Sometimes it's not even like an accident or anything. It's just traffic. You know what? I'm gonna dump a little out because I didn't say her.
Ah.
And if she wants some more coffee after she puts her cream in, tell her to bring it back up to me. Or I
I'm
can
good. Thank you.
Mm.
And I'm loving just being totally warped by you with all the sounds of where you are. And
Oh God. I was it's it's beautiful. I just want to be transparent. There's this process where I'm just like falling in love with you, and also, there's this part of hearing the background noise because I'm, traveling at a Starbucks. I'm like kind of like worried about the viewers and not being perfect, and like, is she going to be upset at you? Like, are you going to be upset at me that? So it's like recognizing all this background stories, but recognizing all of that can be happening while my simultaneous commitment to like feel you and be with you and just trust this connection.
yeah, yeah. I had all the same things come up and then I melted into the depth of you and was like, oh man, this is so good. We're gonna have so much to talk about. Let me
Yeah.
let me check the comments first. Oh, yay. Everyone was looking at us too.
Beautiful.
Leah says it feels like you're looking at me. Guy says I'm looking at you. Thanks, guys. All right.
Yay.
We're here to talk about money, sex, and God. Where do you want to play first?
Wow. Well, those three topics are like what I'm all about,
Yeah.
So I feel honestly in a place of just total feminine surrender and just take me, like literally take me where you want to go, and I'll kind of, this feels really awesome because I'm usually the leader.
Yeah.
So when you're asking me what I want, I'm kind of in this place of wanting to let go of that torch and just have you be more in control so that I can surrender. So you go and I'll just like kind of dance alongside of you.
I love it. Thank you for just surrendering to me. That's really hot.
Yeah.
I'm feeling myself like rooted right now. I want to know about your soul.
Mm.
That's it. I want to know about the depths of your soul. This is my desire.
Well, I guess if I want to get sort of metaphysical on you, it just kind of, I really feel like my soul is from the angelic realm. I'm like, literally, I have had visions of just being this high being, as an angel kind of in the astral plane. And I've had really a very strong, clear hit that I sacrificed my wings, meaning I chopped off my own wings to come down here to awaken collective consciousness. I made the choice from an empowered position recognizing I wanted to experience the suffering in the human body and that's why I had a really traumatic upbringing, really young, so I could clear my shit quick and have the experience of moving through the human plane, doing my work and clearing out my debris so that I could bring my earth angel more rooted in my earth body and help kind of awaken and inspire and heal collective consciousness.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah. So I have, and most of my pain in my body has been in the back of my heart where my wings were cut off. Like my trauma tends to go there. My shoulders, I have a shoulder injury here. Like my trauma tends to go in that mid back. I have scoliosis too, which is kind of funny. And I ripped a slightly tendon 4 months ago. So a lot of my trauma that I work through is here, heart, back of heart, shoulders. And I feel like I'm part earth angel from my soul perspective. And then I'm part bonobo, which is like really primal, primal in my body. Exactly. So I'm part bonobo and part earth angel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, spirits choose to live here so we can get fucking down and dirty, right?
Right.
So that's why we're here. I'm curious about how because I mean, I know in my own life how this has played out, but how sexuality has colored your human experience this lifetime around. Like, what has been the play there, and where are you playing in it right now? And just kind of like, I'm interested in the dirtiness of that, the grittiness.
Yeah, I think I had a lot of trauma of not trusting people. My mom struggled with meth addiction all my life, and I was the rescuer, and there was just a lot of people with a lot of trauma and wounding. And so I went into this place of, it's not safe. I live in a unsafe, dangerous world, and connection is to be feared, and don't trust anybody.
Yep.
And do whatever you can to control and like keep people at a distance and at bay, and fix them because they need help and they're kind of fucked up, and like keep them away. And so
I'm fucking dying because I remember when I first found you on your profile page, and I was like, we're like the same, like what's happening? And now I'm hearing you and I'm going, oh my God, it's like looking in a mirror.
Yay.
This
awesome.
Is so good. Like, that's so good. And I cut you off because I'm just too excited, but tell me the sexuality piece, right? Like, how did that contour this process for you?
So the more that I kind of let go of that controller archetype and the caretaker, which has been like my codependency work over the last 15, 16 years consciously, I've built enough strength in myself to feel safe, feel okay, and feel safe, and trust myself, trust my needs, trust my boundaries, recognize who's kind of safe, like my discernment litmus test, who's safe to now welcome into my intimacy sphere, who's not, and really do a lot of work to like let go of just shit tons of stories. Now where I'm at is like moving more into this place of like, I'm safe, I trust myself, and now I allow myself to be this big, this empowered in my sexuality, like this like, and now I'm working through all the programming of people that make me wrong for my power, for my bigness, for my sexuality, because I run my sexual energy very open now, like very open. I'm very flirtatious. Of course I want to be discerning, but I'm noticing the more I am in my power and my truth, I'm getting like women that are reaching out, sending me hot photos. I'm just like, fuck, this is like the shit, you know? So I'm really in this place of like reclaiming that part of me more. Now that I am safe and now that I trust myself, my edge more is like, can I be okay with the level of judgment that I can now open and just be this sexually liberated, which is very much, my sexual liberation is in direct proportion to my authentic power, like being in my authentic power, being in my authentic truth, and saying, it is beautiful to be able to shine this light. It is beautiful to be able to be this truthful, this vulnerable, this authentic, this alive.
I had that experience today. I do 5 rhythms dance, and
Beautiful.
every time I go, I'm like the one that like gyrating her hips on the floor, and like all my clothes are off, and like the men are like following me, and I'm like having orgasms in the middle of the floor, right?
Right.
And today my energy was so big that the facilitator gave me like
Turn it down.
turn down. And the number of times that I've gotten a turn it down in my life, right?
Yeah.
And then I went on this journey of like, wow, little girl inside of me feels like she can't shine her light because other people tell her that she can't, right? And then I talked to her, and the little girl was like, I want to be able to shine my light. And I was like, okay, we can totally do that. And other people get to protect their space.
Yes.
They get to do that. We get to do us. They get to do that. And we get to honor their protection. Like, he came up and was like, and I afterward, I thanked him, like, thank you for holding the space so brilliantly and so beautifully. And for giving me the opportunity to check in with my little girl. Right. Like it was
Love that.
So that just reminded me of that experience today. And I don't know.
Beautiful.
And so how is this, I mean, because everything in our own life, the more we up level our lives, ourselves, everyone around us, right? Rising lifts all boats. How is this playing out in your work with other humans in the world, and with the programs that you're doing and the coaching that you're doing? Yeah.
Well, I really help inspire people to embrace their truth and who they fully are, whatever their unique medicine is. Like, I'm a permission giver. So like whatever is wanting to be activated and amplified in their field that is in their authenticity, I give them permission through my own path and my own gifts and my own light. And I'm a reflector, right? I often see people's brilliance more clear than they see themselves, because they often have a lot of those filters or shoulds or conditionings. And so I kind of help be that reflector and help them to be like, oh, wow, I have been dimming myself because of this programming. Or, you know, I have been not fully stepping into my truth because I've been more accommodating for other people, or whatever their unique earth life issue is. It's like it becomes illuminated because of like my light, my permission, and also the way that I see them, often how they can't clearly see themselves because they have those stories, right, covering themselves up. So that's one piece that I'm a kind of an illuminator to. And then the second piece is I really help people, individuals, to be able to create and design their own unique love style according to them, from their sovereignty. So it depends, you know, it's like everybody wants to do their own kind of relating, whether it's monogamish, whether it's monogamous, but we have a polysensual agreement, whether it's relationship anarchy or BDSM or whatever their unique love style is. I help them clarify that and be able to empower them and give them the tools to be able to navigate that, so that they can attract the right people that fit within their species and constitution, as well as learn the tools and the skill sets of how to do it well. Communication, repair, you know, like honesty, transparency, leaning into each other's worlds, like just all the heart ninja, like emotional intelligence tools needed to do kind of more just open relating, but relating in general well.
Yeah. So good. So good. The emotional intelligence is, I feel like, a gift that you bring.
Thank you.
I know, because the first thing I saw in the video, just fucking raging and crying and your heart open. I was like, oh my God, I love her. Who the fuck is this? Can we marry each other?
We could talk about that.
Talk about it. That's creative. I was like, oh, so good. What would you say to someone who has the capacity for those feelings and is unable to express it outwardly? I see this a lot with my clients.
Yeah.
So it's like in them and it's like bubbling, and that ability to be like, here I am, but right, is it's not happening for them and they want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's really important because a lot of those people have been heavily repressed and shamed, either in childhood or somehow their expression was made wrong, or they, you know, it wasn't safe to express themselves. So it's really creating a safe container that I'm not going to judge them, or that, you know, that I'm going to be here, and whatever's coming up, that it has a right to be here. And I really talk a lot about this, that every part of you belongs, every part of you is sacred, and every part of you is included here. And any part of you that's told you that that's not okay, I want to actually help you to create the space that I can hold that for you while you still don't trust yourself.
Right.
Right. So I'm holding that permission, I'm holding that space of safety, and I want that part of you. Like, I'll tell my clients, I want your messy. I want the part of you that's in victim right now. It's like, okay for you to be inventing. It's okay for you to be, you know, in a place of lashing, like whatever needs voice. It's safe to be here, and I want to hear it, because I'm a master. One of my gifts is I'm a master translator. Like, I can translate any part into the understanding of what's going on beneath. Like, what's the core need? What's the core thing that's driving them? You know, what's the desire underneath that part? And I can just translate. And it helps them to feel loved and feel heard and feel and understand themselves, usually in a better way that they haven't been able to understand themselves.
Yeah, that's another mirror. Here we go, doing the same stuff, right? Bringing the darkness to the light, loving it, honoring it, holding it.
Yes. Yeah.
For the people watching, how, I mean, I know, but I'm curious, the people watching might not, how does this tie into like unbridled sexual attention?
Oh, wow.
Ready for the big question? It's an essay.
The more I'm able to, and the more I support other people to embody their full expression, that comes out in their sex life, right? Because everything you can try, but most, nothing usually can continue to hide in sex and money. But sexuality, it's like you'll see it right there. It's like taking a flashlight, and you'll see everything really clearly. And so the more that you're able to do that work in your life, and to liberate those aspects and love your different parts and honor them, then it becomes kind of like a playground in the bedroom. Right?
I say that like every time I get an interview. This is hilarious. Nice. It's like, Emily, nice to meet you.
So can I get kind of like vulnerable with you, and like saucy, and like really like unhindered here? Because it's just so yummy when we talk about our sexuality openly.
Yeah, please. I'm like, do you see my legs right now? I'm like, why?
I love it. I know. I'm seeing you just start to get more feminine and unraveled. I'm noticing my cheeks are blushing, and like all my body's like lighting up. So I was with a lover last night, and I love it because we roll in so many different ways. Like we'll be in just like a deep locked eye gaze, and we'll be talking about just the stuff that's super hard in our life, but like we're locked in. And then we're in this like super uber heart space, and then like a minute later he's like, you know, holding me down like in constraints, you know, like taking his cock and putting it up against like, and just choking me like that, and being like, that's right, you need that, you need to fucking let go, don't you? You've been holding so much. And I'm just like, yes. So, and we just undulate in these places where we can play with all these aspects. And I'm surrendered a lot there, because I know the different parts of myself, and I feel safe to roll with them and express them, and he can roll there. And so I feel really grateful. And a lot of, I've attracted that kind of person because of the work I've done on myself,
Right.
Which is huge out there, right? Because there might be a lot of people sitting out there like, well, how do I find that person? And I have to say, the more that we do the internal work
Inside, 100%.
it starts to just show up, and I feel so grateful because I'm just attracting these really high level beings without having to look.
Yep.
I'm not having to go on some freaking dating site or night. It's just happening.
Yep. And that's the same way it works in business. That's the same way it works in money. That's the same way it works with relationship with God, higher power, right? We fill this up and it's like, cool, all good.
Right. And there's like an ease and flow and surrender. And that's so contrary to my programming. Mm-hmm. My programming that I have is like, you got to muscle your way through. It's hard. You got to work hard to make a lot of money. Like a very old patriarchal masculine programming.
Yeah.
And I'm still working through it a little bit,
Yeah. I mean, it's the parts are never going to go away. Like you said at the beginning, right? Like the parts are always there. I've got a dictator part inside of me that has like a whip and she's a bitch. And and sometimes she takes over my life and like F's everything up. And I'm like, bro, just stop. Like, let's go back to me.
That's cool. We can play that part out. Well, I'll go super submissive and you can play that part out. I'll take your dictator on.
Careful. Be careful.
Right. I know. I'm like, wait, hang on.
I don't know. We should definitely work out terms before we go into it.
Right? We create some agreements and some boundaries.
Right.
And...
Just a little bit. I might type it up for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I feel like there's something about, I've been thinking about this the last couple of days and seeing my clients grow and transform as we really claim the darkness in our bodies. It's almost like our capacity just gets like bigger and bigger and bigger, and we can hold so much more. So when things hit us, we're like, all right, cool, right? Like whatever, right? And it's that ease that you were talking about that allows for this flow where life can be a playground, not just the bedroom, like everything, right? That's how I feel. I love everything. So listen, tell everyone about what you're selling so they can all buy it right now because they should.
Right? I'm going to spread my seed all over this, honey.
Just go buy it. Wait, I'm going to look at the comments too. I've been ignoring everyone.
It's hard because we're so compelling, right?
Everyone just says that we're super hot.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for like honoring our beauty. Thank you for honoring our Shakti. So anyway, what I'm up to is I have a women's program that I'm offering right now. It's at www.heartninja.net. Heart Ninja, that's kind of my avatar. That's how people know me by. And I'm looking for 10 women that are ready to live liberated in their truth, purpose, sensuality, while also thriving in communication, connection, and intimacy. But what it is like women that are really interested in building from their sovereignty first, right? A lot of women get really lost in connection or lost in something outside themselves. And my whole desire is to bring it back home first here and to build, from their place of like, what's their soul? What's igniting their soul? What's that truth that they've been denying of themselves? What's that purpose that they've been denying of themselves, or they haven't given it a lot of attention? Let's go there while also helping you, improve your sex life with your husband or improve your communication with your friendships, and it's coming back home first,
Yeah.
So the way people can go check that out. If you feel compelled to, if you be a part of what I'm offering or my medicine, you can fill out an application. And then let's have a 15-minute consult, 15-minute chat and see if we're a good fit. And I want to learn about what your desires are and what you want out of life at this time.
I love it. Everyone should just do the 15 minutes anyways, because you get to be around Emily for 15 minutes, which I feel so full right now by being with you. I'm like rubbing my body.
I want to give a shout out to my coach, actually, Michael Author, who you're interviewing on here. And he said, he's so awesome. At first I had hour-long consults. He's like, Emily, no. Like, Emily, no, like, stop, don't launch yet. You're like, there's only so much energy you have, Emily. So
it's true, man. Yeah. It's so true. I love it. This is so good. I'm so glad we got to connect and I got to meet your soul and your spirit. I'm like, glad we're the same person. Like, of course we are, but like, holy wow.
Beautiful.
It's so good. Thank you for doing the shit you do on the West Coast so I can do it over here and we can just kill it.
Yes. I'm really looking forward to listening to the other people on your summit. I'm driving down to LA, so I'm excited to hop on and just really be a part of this. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you're creating and offering. And just thank you so much for just lighting the world up with your medicine and your light and your sensuality and sexuality. We need it. We need you.
We need you, babe. Fuck, that's so good. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Mwah. Bye,
Yeah.
love.
Bye, honey. Bye.